Hello everybody, it's Julia here with another video for you. This is going to be another pick a card reading. Today the title of this reading is What Do You Need to Hear Right Now? This is my third attempt at this video today because once I didn't press the pause button on my camera and I messed it up, and another time somebody knocked at the door and I didn't press the right button on my camera either, so I messed it up. So what I've done, just to speed things up a little bit, because these are the cards that came out the first time that I attempted this reading, I'm going to go with what came up the first time. So we've got, for pile number 1 here, we've got a waxing moon, and I have placed a snowflake obsidian upon that. For card number 2, we have a full moon, beautiful full moon there, and I have placed a turquoise crystal on that. And the third card that I've got here is a new moon card. So I have placed a quartz crystal on that. So I will just give you a chance to choose which card you would like for your pile, and I will pause the video, and hopefully this time I shall come back and I'll be able to do the shuffling for you. As usual, the timestamps and the chapters for this video will be in the description box below. And if this reading resonates for you, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up, or you would subscribe to my channel. As per usual, this is a collective reading. This is a timeless, collective, general reading. This is not for anybody specifically. I'm not tapping into anyone's personal energy. This is a collective energy, and I hope to bring you some messages and some inspiration. So if you'd like to just try and go with your gut feeling or your intuition of either a waxing moon with this lovely snowflake obsidian, a full moon with the turquoise, or a new moon with the clear quartz here. So I shall see you in a moment for the shuffling of the other cards. Thank you. Okay, so all going well so far. It has been very frustrating. I was so looking forward to bringing you this reading and doing this for you, and I just seem to be useless with operating my camera. So, there we go. So I've got all these cards here. I've got 4 oracle decks and 2 tarot decks all together to shuffle and to bring you some cards for these piles. So Spirit, please, if you could help me to shuffle and bring some clarity, to bring some additional messages to this video, please. Do you know, partly what my problem is really is that I have fibromyalgia, and sometimes my hands just don't want to work, and I end up hitting the wrong button on the camera, or I just make a mess of things really, so it can be quite frustrating sometimes. But I do my best, and I very much enjoyed doing this for you and bringing these videos to you. So Spirit, 3 cards please to go with these 3 piles here. So we have 1, 2 and 3. I will write in the description box also the name of all the cards that I'm using here. So these ones are my Soul's Journey Oracle deck. These are my Power Animals Oracle deck. They're both decks I've had a very long time. The Moonology cards I've not had quite so long. I'm still sort of getting to know those, and my knowledge of astrology is increasing all the time. The Spirit, could we have another 3 cards, please? For these 3 piles. So we have 1, 2, and 3. This little deck here that I'm using is called a Rebel deck. I don't know whether any of you have seen this. It's full of swear words. It's quite blunt. It's quite to the point. But it has some fantastically grounded messages in it, I find. Sometimes when I just don't know what to do about a situation, or I'm feeling really frustrated, I sometimes just pull one of these cards, and if nothing else it makes me laugh and sort of takes the stress out of the situation for me. So that's why we're going to use one of these today. So if you don't like swearing, I do apologise in advance, but I expect I will be swearing with these cards. So what do you need to hear right now, Spirit? What messages do we have for my viewers right now? Thank you. So we have there we go. And then we're going to have 3 tarot cards from the Sasaraibito deck, which I've got here, and 3 tarot cards from my Radiant Waite deck also. And if I need to, if the reading is not clear or it doesn't flow, I shall clarify with some more tarot cards as well. So, Spirit, please, clarity and inspiration and messages for my viewers, please. What do they need to know right now? Thank you. Oops. Move that back. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oops. And then, as I said, I've got my Radiant Waite deck here also. So for the final shuffle, Spirit, please, some additional messages, some clarity, some inspiration, some messages for my viewers. What do they need to hear right now? What would be good for their higher good to hear right now? Thank you. Okay, so one, two, three. Okay, so I should probably have a little look at the bottom of the deck at some point as well throughout this reading. I think that's always useful to do. So what I'm going to do now is, hopefully, I'm going to get it right this time. I'm going to pause the video and sort my piles out here, and I will be back with pile number 1. So see you in a mo. Thank you. Hello everyone. Hello pile number 1 people. We've actually made it this time. As I said, this is my third attempt at this video today. So, pile number 1. All you lovely people that chose the beautiful snowflake obsidian here. And this crystal, this is a crystal that brings about balance, really. This is something that brings balance and cleansing to your body, your mind and your spirit. It's a very, very nice crystal, that one. So I should put that there. So your card that you chose was a waxing moon, and this says the energy is gaining momentum. So thinking about what a waxing moon and gaining momentum might mean, I think, if I remember rightly, that this is a very positive omen. This is a very, very positive card, a waxing moon. I think this is about you being able to create whatever you desire, really. With the energy gaining momentum, I think that this means that both your energy and your emotions are building, that you're on the right track, that you need to keep moving forward. This is the energy as we build up towards a full moon. So life is full of potential, basically, at this time. This is a time to make plans and to act upon them. So as I said, this is a very, very positive omen, this card. So in terms of what you need to hear right now, I would say that with this card, it means that you could well be full of some kind of nervous energy. You could feel that your energetic state or your emotional state is starting to shift, that there is a building energy around, that you've got a head full of ideas, a head full of plans, and I think this is really now the time to start to act upon those things. So, what else have we got here? I do love doing these pick a card readings. It's always really exciting for me to turn these piles over and see what you've actually got here. So with the Soul's Journey deck, with this beautiful purple card, we've got worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change the outcome, which is interesting, isn't it? It's making me wonder whether this kind of nervous energy, this energy that you can feel building, is unsettling you or making you worry, and perhaps preventing you from acting upon your energetic state and your emotional state. I know from myself that if I'm anxious about something or I'm worried about something, I'm often feeling stuck. I think that's the problem, is I'm often indecisive, or I'm feeling stuck, or I just don't know which way to go, or my head is just too full of ideas or thoughts or plans, and that in itself can be a worry. But this is extremely good advice. I mean, all of that worry is really wasted energy a lot of the time, isn't it? It's that kind of circular sort of energy that goes round and round and round, but often doesn't take you anywhere positive, often doesn't help you to achieve your goals. Sometimes it's better just to do something, isn't it? Rather than to sit and to worry, it's better just to do something. So, interesting. For your power animals card, we've got the bear. And this is boundaries. This is stand your ground. I wonder what that's about. So something that you are perhaps trying to manifest at the moment, Perhaps you're needing to have some firm boundaries with some of the people in your life. Perhaps some of the people in your life are causing you to worry, perhaps becoming intrusive and causing you to worry and to feel uncertain, and causing you to miss out possibly on some of this very positive waxing moon energy that I see here. What else have we got here? Well, this is the kind of advice I like. This says, step away from the crazy making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like arse. Ass. I'm British, so it's arse, not ass. But step away from the crazy making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like arse. Eat some yummy shit. Bacon, chocolate and beer. Get some. Wow. We don't very often get advice like that, do we? So this would make me think perhaps that you could well have been trying to manifest something for yourself. As I said, this snowflake obsidian is a crystal of clearing energy, bringing balance to your body and your mind. It's a cleansing crystal. It could well be that you've been so worried about your weight or your health or your well-being that you've been a little bit over the top. You know, you've been a little bit over the top in your dieting efforts. You could have been going without some of the things that you really like, some of the things that you really enjoy. And you could have been worrying a lot about that. There's a bit of conflict here, isn't there, in your cards, really? Because I think you're being encouraged to act here. You're most certainly being encouraged to act and to keep moving forward with whatever it is that you're doing, because I think with this waxing moon card here, the energy is gaining momentum. I think that you are on the right track for sure. I think that life at the moment for you is full of potential, but perhaps, like we all can, perhaps you've just been a little bit too harsh on yourself recently. Perhaps the full moon in Virgo that we've had recently has caused you to be perhaps too overly critical with yourself, perhaps too harsh on yourself, perhaps not kind enough to yourself. Let's see what we've got with the tarot cards here. So we've got the King of Wands. This is a fire energy. This is Leo, Aries or Sagittarius. So this is somebody who certainly does act upon their impulses. This is somebody dynamic. This is a person who energetically would feel the pull of a growing, excuse me, I'll have a drink, a sort of growing and gaining momentum. The King of Wands would certainly feel that and would want to act upon that, would want to do something. We've got the the Six of Swords here. So this is Aquarius, isn't it? This is Aquarius energy. This is traditionally this card talks of moving away from difficult circumstances, reaching a place of safety. The energy in this card is somewhat different, isn't it? Here we can see a woman who's just about keeping herself afloat, isn't she? She's got her face out of the water. I would imagine she's moving upwards and away from danger. I don't know whether these spikes here represent some kind of danger in the water. Water represents emotions, but she's reaching upwards to breathe in the air, isn't she? She's reaching upward for something more positive. Swords obviously represent our mental state, our thoughts, our intellect. So this is almost gasping for breath, isn't it? This is almost feeling almost drowned by your own emotional state, perhaps. Ooh. And then we've got the Three of Swords. So this is Libra energy. This is more air energy. And traditionally this card represents pain and loss and heartbreak. But I think more recently I've tried to very much see this card as kind of the heart opener. A card that allows you to grow from adversity, to grow from negativity, to open your heart to suffering, to transcend suffering. Because we have to remember this is a swords card, this is not a cup, so this is not like a broken heart as such, but this is painful thinking, painful thought processes, negativity, distress. These are things that are it's very much necessary to rise above and to transcend. We've also got the Seven of Swords here. This is Aquarius again. So this is perhaps feeling that something underhand, something might be going on in the background, somebody might be trying to trick you, somebody might be lying to you potentially, somebody has perhaps upset you. We've got the Eight of Swords here. Dear oh dear, this is Gemini. So we've had Libra, Aquarius and Gemini here. So this is very much an air dominated reading currently, isn't it? This is another very tricky kind of air energy. This is feeling restricted, confined, scared, anxious, indecisive, very, very challenged. And then we end your reading with the Three of Cups, quite bizarrely, and this is Cancer. So this often can mean enjoyment of life, spending time with friends, with family, reconnecting with people, making new friends, enjoying your life. Sometimes this card can represent a third person within a relationship that has gone wrong, that a third party has been introduced, that somebody could have cheated. And looking at your cards here, to be honest, I could see that could be a potential possibility here. We've got the Three of Swords, the Seven of Swords, the Three of Cups. Yeah. It's entirely possible here that the reason why you've been worrying, and the reason why you've been needing to have boundaries and stand your ground is because somebody has been taking advantage of you. Somebody has hurt you in some way. Somebody may have taken something from you. Somebody may have cheated on you. Somebody may have put you down, made you feel bad about yourself. Perhaps that's what all of this with the major sort of health kick is about, is that maybe somebody just made you feel very bad about yourself. I'm not really quite sure what it is really here, to be honest. As I said, there isn't certainly an element here of distress, I think is the word I want to use. And it's a distress of your thought processes more than anything. It's you know, we've got 6 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 7 of Swords and 8 of Swords, plus the card Worry, plus the card Boundaries, plus a card of needing to let go of some kind of control. So whether there is an element with all of this that something, you think that something is happening, or you think that something is much worse than it actually really is, that's certainly possible. But there is very real energy here of negativity and pain and distress and unease and worry. So if I was to have a message for you with this reading of what you actually need to hear right now, it would be to try not to worry whatever it is that's going on, because the worry and the anxiety won't change the outcome. All it will do actually is keep you stuck and perhaps make you ill also, whether mentally or physically unwell. Over controlling your own life by restricting your diet so drastically. While this can be good at times, this can be good when we've got a very positive mental state and we're feeling good about life. That can be a very positive thing, but sometimes we need to be kind to ourselves, and sometimes we need to eat some chocolate, some ice cream, a burger, whatever it is that we feel guilty about. Sometimes we need to do those things. We need some comfort. And I think that's what I'm seeing here really, is that whatever's been going on for you recently, it's taken an enormous amount of your energy. It's meant that you've had to be firm with other people, be firm with yourself. I feel that you've perhaps had to deal with a lot on your own, and I think that's not helping the matter, actually. I think this is a time to reach out to friends, to family, to let your hair down a little bit, to eat some rubbish food, to have a lie-in, to just loosen up some of your routines, some of the structure in your life. Have a day off, take some holiday from work, get in the car, go for a drive somewhere, just do something that takes you out of your head for a little while. Because the main card that we had here is this waxing moon, isn't it? The energy is gaining momentum, and as I said, this is a very, very positive card. This card really does mean you can create whatever you desire. that energy and that emotional state is building within you. You need to keep on the right track. You need to keep moving forwards. Life is full of potential for you at the moment. So whatever plans you are making, try and act upon them rather than just being stuck in your head, fearing that it will go wrong, fearing that you won't get the result that you want. Because this all could actually be nothing to do with anybody else. This could all just be your own mind. This could all just be self-sabotage, of negativity, of, well, I can't do that because if I do, it will all go wrong, or I'm not good enough, or things won't work out, or if I try and I fail, I'll be even more upset. It just feels very much like there's been a lot of worry and a lot of control issues and a lot of internalizing and ruminating on certain things that is not doing you any good, to be honest. So yeah, I think what you need to hear right now is that everything is working in your favour. So do yourself a favour, let your hair down a little bit, relax some of the rules that you have for yourself at the moment, and just do something nice, do something fun, and bring about a different energy into your life. Yeah, let in some positivity. Because I think that you are on the right path for absolute sure here. I think doubt is very normal. Self-criticism is very normal. These are all things that we suffer from at times. Self-sabotage, negative thinking, that sort of going round and round in circles, procrastinating, having trouble making decisions, putting up walls, keeping very firm boundaries about things, holding ourselves to very tight schedules. They can all be things that we feel are necessary at the time, but they really take their toll on us. You know, we're emotional creatures, us people, and we need to keep our love tanks full, I think. We need to give back to ourselves things that make us feel good. So there we go, pile number one. I do hope that that resonated for you. I do hope that there was a message of some kind of inspiration for you. I hope that it helped. If you did like that reading, please do give me a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to my channel. That's very important for me. And I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you. Hello, pile number two. So, what have we got here for you? We have a full moon in Virgo, which is very interesting, isn't it? Let me just get rid of that ash. There we go. So we have a full moon in Virgo is the card that you chose, and we've just had a full moon in Virgo, haven't we? I think it was the 18th of March. A full moon in Virgo is about releasing attachments, addressing areas where we might feel a little bit fussy, nitpicky, or overly critical. These are all the lovely traits of the lovely Virgo, of which I am a Virgo. So these are all personality traits that I'm well aware of. So yeah, this is you. But also within Virgo, there is this difficulty with feeling worthwhile, with feeling important, I think. I think most Virgos suffer quite a lot with doubt and self-criticism, actually. So this card is you are good enough. This is a full moon in Virgo, and this is you are good enough. Which, as I said, I think that Virgos struggle a lot with that energy of not feeling good enough. Perhaps downplaying your strengths, downplaying even other people's strengths and positive attributes. There's always, excuse me, there's always the possibility of being too picky with other people, sort of picking people and situations apart, which our analytical brains love to do, but as I've found in my life, other people don't like to be on the receiving end of it. I think also this card is about not second guessing yourself, and perhaps turning this sort of nervous, sort of restless, worrying kind of energy into something positive. Actually doing something with it. And often for me, when I'm feeling in that kind of mental state where I'm restless and finding it hard to settle, is when I do a bit of cleaning or a bit of decluttering, and I find that that really settles my head down quite well. So there we go. And we also had with that this beautiful turquoise crystal, and turquoise brings serenity, empathy, positivity, but also creativity. So there's a lot of positivity comes with this crystal. A lot of positivity, I think, that Virgos often need to hear. Not saying that you, the viewer, pile number 2, are a Virgo, but that's the energetic state that we are talking about at the moment, and how that might be manifesting within you. You might be a Virgo, you might have Virgo as quite a strong influence within your chart. Your soul's journey card, we've got here peace, which is really gorgeous, isn't it? And goes so well with this lovely turquoise crystal here. So this is, I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. I think that's something that Virgos really, really need to hear. Almost for me, when I read something like that or look at it, it almost just makes me want to burst out laughing, because this sort of negative energy, this restless, worrying kind of nervous energy, very quickly becomes negativity for me. And peace of mind is something that I can find quite difficult to come by at times. I love doing these readings, actually, doing these videos for you, because I actually do feel very peaceful when I'm sitting here using my intuition and looking at the cards. And it's something that I enjoy, and I get a great deal of positive feeling from. So this resonates very strongly for Virgos and for the kind of energy that Virgos need more of in their life. As I said, you don't necessarily have to be a Virgo if you've chosen this pile, but these may well be qualities that resonate within you also. So this very much is a time to be focusing on self-love, on being accepting of yourself and accepting of other people, of perhaps performing certain little rituals to relieve negative energy in your life. Like I have a Moonology diary where just recently I wrote down, for the full moon, I actually wrote down the people that I wanted to release and forgive within my life, people that I felt might have been bringing some kind of negative or toxic energy into my life. And that involves writing some things down on pieces of paper and burning them, of saying certain affirmations, of lighting candles, lighting incense, of meditating upon certain energies. These are all good things to release negative energy. So we also have, with the power animals deck here, we have the antelope. And this is a card of decisiveness. This is make a decision and take the appropriate action. So again, this fits very well for me with this pile of cards here, because I think this sort of nitpicky quality, this negative sort of ruminating quality that we've been talking about here with Virgo, is it can sometimes make it extremely difficult to be decisive, to make a decision and act upon it, because there's often such a lot of worry around, am I making the right decision? Can I do this? Is it the right thing? Will it go well for me? What will happen if I try? What if I try and I fail? I know for sure my own Virgo head at times can be full of such worry, so this is fantastic advice to be decisive. Procrastinating keeps you in that tormented place of dithering between should I, shouldn't I, will I, won't I. It's not a healthy energy. I think the antelope here acts instinctively, doesn't it? You know, if it knows that there's a predator around, ping, it's gone, isn't it? It's decisive. If it were to hang around, it would be eaten. So, so that's good energy there, isn't it? Very good energy. So for the rebel deck, oh no. Well, I don't know what to make of this. You look like a shit show. Wow. You're a hot mess. Fact. Clean yourself up. So what's going on here? Has there been some self-neglect? Have you not been looking after yourself? Have you felt so not good enough to the extent where you've kind of given up on doing certain things that you need to look after yourself? While I would never be one to advocate this kind of superficial appearance is everything, it is also important to shower, to wash your hair, to clean your teeth, to put a little bit of thought into what you wear, to make good and wise decisions for yourself. And as this card says here, to act upon them. I'm very much getting the feeling here that this kind of, there's such a strong feeling here of negative energy, of procrastinating, of not feeling good enough, of perhaps neglecting yourself, of not looking after yourself, being at war with yourself, being at war with yourself. Right, your tarot cards. We have the Emperor here. This is Aries. This is very strong, divine masculine Aries energy. Well, the Emperor would certainly never look like a shit show, would he? I would say the Emperor would be very well groomed. Wow. We've also got the Five of Swords here. That's a very dark card, isn't it? This is Aquarius. There is certainly some conflict with this card. Some inner conflict. This could even be, for some people, this could even be a card of self-harm. This is not treating yourself kindly. That is not treating yourself kindly. That is being overly controlling. Yes. We've got the High Priestess here, which I'm glad to see, to be honest. This is moon energy. I think you know, don't you? I think your intuition is telling you quite strongly. Your own inner wisdom is telling you quite strongly that this needs to stop, doesn't it? This kind of self-punishment, this overly controlling of yourself, it needs to stop. We've got the Nine of Cups here, which I'm glad to see also. This is Pisces energy. This is a kind of wish fulfillment card, I guess, isn't it? This man is sat there with all the cups behind him, almost like his cup is running over, isn't it? He's surrounded by so much emotional quality there. In its lower realms, this sometimes can be somebody who's a little bit smug, somebody who perhaps doesn't feel like they need to do a lot because everything is given to them. I don't know how that resonates for any of you. That might be somebody in your life that you're actually dealing with at the moment. We've got the Five of Swords, so that's another, well, we've got the Five of Swords twice, haven't we? Look at these, they're two very, very different cards, aren't they, in their imagery here? It's like a sense of defeat, isn't it? Of like something painful has happened. Something painful has happened and everyone's a bit shell-shocked by it. It's a feeling of despair and defeat. And then we have the Four of Pentacles, which is another kind of fear-based card, isn't it? This is Capricorn energy. This is holding on tight to something, the fear of losing something. And as it's a pentacle, we could say it was something material. It could be a home, money, a job, a way of life, your health. But there's a great deal that is being feared here. There's a great deal of control, again, being exerted here. As I said, it's very difficult for me to know whether this is somebody in your life that is bringing some of this energy to you. Somebody that's being over-controlling. Somebody that's made you feel sad or that's put you down, made you feel bad about yourself. Or whether this is all internal. But as the question for this reading is, what do you need to hear right now? Well, I don't think there's any better a message than this, is there? You are good enough. You are most definitely good enough. I think you've been downplaying your strengths. I think you've been downplaying your abilities. I think you've been overly controlling with yourself. I think perhaps you've even neglected yourself. There's a lot of fear in this reading. A lot of fear that has been internalized, that's been turned inwards and is harmful and destructive. I feel that you've been over-controlling, that you haven't been listening to your intuition, perhaps. that you've been so busy holding on tight to everything that in order to try and keep the good things, the things that you want and need, it's like you've also hung on too tightly to all the negativity as well, which is not healthy. Not healthy at all. So yeah, if there was a message for this reading, it would very much be you are good enough. Be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. See yourself for who you really are. We are all divine creatures. We're all creatures of divinity. We all have a link to the spiritual world. We're all creatures of love. There are only two energies really in this world, aren't there? There's love and there's fear, and everything else stems from those things. And really what I'm seeing so much of in your cards here is fear. This perhaps inability to make a decision, this perhaps self-neglect, this holding on to things, this despair, this potential self-harm here. And obviously self-harm can manifest in many different ways. It doesn't have to be anything as dramatic as what this card might be suggesting, of actual sort of cutting of yourself, that kind of self-punishment. It doesn't have to be anything as significant as that. Sometimes it can just be not eating right, not washing our face, not cleaning our teeth, not brushing our hair, hiding away indoors, not getting out and looking at the sun, just not feeling good enough generally. This feeling of putting ourselves down. It can make this kind of procrastination and this indecisiveness very, very difficult to beat, very, very difficult to win out. So I think if there was to be some general advice for you, it would be you are most definitely good enough, and that you are a being of light and of love. You picked this lovely turquoise crystal, which is a crystal of serenity, empathy, positivity, and creativity. These are all things that would be far better for you to put your focus and your energy into. Perhaps this is the time to, as I said, to do some decluttering, whether that be of your home or your mind, of your fridge, to really sort of clean up your act a little bit, if you like, to step into your own power, to step into your own goodness, your own being, your own truth, to try and let go of some of this fear. I think in my life I've been in enough situations now that I've realised that very definitely fear and worry and anxiety doesn't change the outcome of a situation at all. All it does is it turns inwards and it causes mental health problems, it causes physical health problems. And I found in my life that when I've needed things, those things come to me. I think you just have to be open and have faith in life. So yeah, there we go. You are good enough. What do you need to hear right now, pile number 2? You are good enough. You are a being of love. So look after yourself, pile number 2. I do hope that this little reading did resonate for you. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that there was a message there for you. If there was, please do give me a thumbs up, and I'd love to hear any comments you'd like to make in the comments section. I would love if you would tell me which pile you picked. Any feedback is most welcome. And as I said, very, very good luck with that, pile number 2, and I shall see you again. Thank you. Hello everyone, hello pile number 3. So, the question, what do you need to hear right now? And you chose the clear quartz crystal, this lovely crystal here. Clear quartz is really, really good for enhancing mental clarity. This is a kind of manifesting crystal, isn't it? This is good for manifesting. It's good for helping you to work out what you want and what you need and to manifest it. It kind of amplifies energy, doesn't it? So it's a lovely crystal. And your Moonology card, you chose the new moon in Aquarius, and this is bring love into the situation, which is very interesting, isn't it? A new moon in Aquarius. So to me, a new moon would always talk to me about change, that change is coming, that it's time to move forwards with something. It's Aquarius, and Aquarius energy can be a little bit detached. I think a lot of people think that Aquarius is a water sign because it's the water bearer, but actually Aquarius is an air sign, and air signs can be a little bit detached. They're ruled by their thoughts, by their thought processes. So Aquarius energy can sometimes be a little bit too detached, perhaps a little bit brittle, I guess is a word. So bringing love into the situation is good advice, isn't it? This is something to put your heart and soul into. So that's the start of your reading. And I would say with your clear quartz here that whatever you wish to put your heart and soul into is something that you're quite capable of manifesting. So your soul's journey card here we've got is death, which could be a difficult card, couldn't it? This could be something that we could take literally. This could potentially mean that somebody very close to you may have died recently. If that's the case, I'm very sorry to hear that. This could also just mean the end of something, that you've come to the end of something. This is like number 10, isn't it, in the tarot cards? This is the end of a cycle. But as it says on the card, I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. So a 10 equals a 1. So there's an ending and a beginning, a completion and a fresh start. So I don't know how this is resonating for you, pile number 3. As I said, it could be that you've come to a time in your life where something big, something important has come to an end. With your power animals card, we've got the koala, which is empathy. Speak less and listen more. Speak less and listen more. That's good advice, isn't it, for lots of us? Certainly for me. I think what this is sort of looking at really is this is the listening with your heart, isn't it? This is not being in your head, not overthinking things, not intellectualizing things, but to actually be compassionate and empathic and to listen with your heart, to see the subtleties of a situation, of a person, of a relationship. To have the ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, perhaps. There's my hair there coming out. Okay, so here we've got fuck fear. Fuck fear. It will lie to your face. Do you know, this fear energy has been so strong in this entire reading today, because obviously I'm pile number 3 now, so I've done pile number 1 and pile number 2, and fear, the fear of something, was a huge energy within those readings. And it was a very similar message, actually, was that fear is not a trustworthy emotion, that there's only really 2 real emotions in this world, and there's fear and there's love, and everything associated with fear will not take you to a good place. It's true, fear lies to you. Fear is like projecting yourself into the future, into a situation of which you have no real knowing or real certainty of which way that situation is going to go. It's a pointless exercise, but it's something that we all fall foul of. Anxiety is rife in society, isn't it? I know that I suffer with a lot of anxiety. And the anxiety that goes around new beginnings, around endings and beginnings, can be huge, absolutely huge. To let go of certain things, it can sometimes feel that life will never be the same again, that, you know, nothing good will come of something ending. But I think if we've been alive for any length of time, we know that that's not entirely true, don't we? And that things have to end sometimes to allow new things to come in. So there is already an air here with Aquarius, and endings and beginnings, the need to listen and absorb more, to realise that fear will lie to you. There is already an air with this reading of being in your head too much, perhaps, and not being in your heart chakra energy. So what else have we got here? We've got the Ace of Swords. So this is yet more air energy, isn't it? This could be Aquarius, Gemini or Libra. And this really is being stuck in your head, because this is the pursuit of truth, isn't it? This could very much be a ruminating energy. This sword here is to try and cut through all of the confusion, all of the smoke, all of the sort of chaos around it, and to find some clarity. This is a kind of clearing of the way, clearing of the air, clearing of the energy. But this is still very much a card of intellect, of truth, of knowledge, of knowing. So what is it wow. There's endings and beginnings, isn't there? Change. A change that perhaps you've been a little bit detached with. A change that perhaps you haven't felt fully within yourself. We've got the Four of Swords here. That's a gorgeous little card, isn't it? So this is more air energy. This is Libra, but this is a time for reflection and rest. This is kind of time out. This again is being within your head, but within a peaceful place within your head, because this is meditation and rest. So this is like a rest for your head. A chance to try to move some of that energy down into your body, to actually feel something. We've got the 10 of Cups here. This is Pisces energy, so this is water energy, emotional energy. This is having everything that you could possibly desire, isn't it? This is having everything that you could possibly want. I was looking at this card. I haven't used this deck for ages, so I'm just sort of looking at this card here, and I think what I can see here is people's feet. So this is a sense of belonging, isn't it? This is people coming together to share and to connect and to enjoy life, to soak up that energy and that heat from the fire, to sit within their emotional state and to enjoy what comes towards them, enjoy that feeling of being connected and together. We've also got the 6 of Pentacles, which is a lovely energy actually. This is Taurus. This is the giving and receiving of things. This is sharing. This is compassion, empathy. This is listening, isn't it? This is listening to what other people need, to what other people really need. This is giving of yourself, sharing of yourself. Also, this card is about knowing when to receive, knowing when it's your turn, when it's time for you. We've got the Knight of Wands. This is certainly somebody who doesn't live in their head. This is a fiery energy. This could be Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries energy. And this is a fast, action-orientated knight, isn't it? He's on a quest there. Sometimes considered the player of the deck. But this is somebody who lives in their heart, who lives in their solar plexus, somebody who doesn't overthink things, somebody who acts. And then we have the Sun. Wow. This is again fire energy, isn't it? This could be Leo. This is beautiful positivity, creativity. This is manifesting energy, isn't it? Growth. Well, pile number 3. I think, looking at this, that you've been through a process of something, and I think that you've realised that endings are merely beginnings. I think you've realised that in order to manifest something better into your life, you've needed to get out of your head. I think you've taken some time out for yourself. I think you've understood what's going on. I think that you've started to get out into life a bit more. I think you've been giving and receiving energy. I think you've been spending time with like-minded souls. I think you've been enjoying a sense of connectedness with people. I think you've been really trying to put some positivity into things, something heartfelt, something that makes you feel good. Yeah. This is a much more positive reading, actually, this pile number 3, than the 2 piles before. It was like the people were still stuck within that energy, but I can actually see movement here for you. I can very much see movement here for you. Let's have a look at the bottom of the decks for you. What have we got? We've got the Four of Cups. So this is what's potentially hidden, what you potentially might not be seeing. And we've also got the Chariot. So yeah, I can see actually you've already, I think, moved past some of this fear energy. I think you've started to own your emotions. I think you've started to own your own sense of well-being. I think you've spent a lot of time reflecting upon what you've needed, or potentially what some other people in your life have needed. Because there are other people here. There's very much this caring, sharing quality with the Six of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. There are certainly people here. Sorry, I'm distracted by my cat. I keep thinking he's about to jump up to where my candle is. That's it. You go out, you George. Come on. I don't mind him up on my table, but I don't have a lot of room, and he'll just, well, I'm always worried his tail's going to end up in the candle or in all of this ash here. So yeah, I can already see that there's been a shift here with you. There's a story here, there's a journey. I think that you've realised yourself that this ending, whatever has happened to you recently, has allowed a new possibility, has allowed new potential for you. I think you've realised that you've needed to let go of the past, and that you've needed to get out into the world. You've needed to stop being afraid of everything. And you've needed to get in touch with a different energetic state within yourself. You needed to get out of your head and into your body. And I think that you are. I can see that here. This is all very, very positive. This is lovely. So yeah, so what do you need to hear right now, pile number 3? Well, carry on. You're heading, your cards have just become more and more positive as we've gone on, and your last card here is the Sun. This card is always positive. It's always full of growth and warmth, heart energy. It's dynamic. It's certainly not stuck in negative thinking. It's certainly not stuck in this sort of airy, detached place. The Sun is certainly not detached. The Knight of Wands is not detached. And the Six of Pentacles here, as I said, this is a very caring and sharing energy that makes me feel that you have developed and encouraged this emotion of empathy, this quality of empathy within you, that you have been listening, that you have been responding and reacting to the needs of other people around you, that you haven't been preoccupied with your own troubles and stuck in your own head, potentially feeling sorry for yourself, because life has changed. We all like certainty, don't we? But I think it's the one thing in life that it's important for all of us to get our heads around, because there's very little that is certain and life changes constantly. So yeah, well done. What do you need to hear right now, pile number 3? Well done. I think that's what you need to hear right now. Well done for transcending your limitations, for transcending your difficulties and your challenges, and emerging dynamic and positive with a growth-minded mindset. So there we go. I hope that that helps. I hope that that was helpful. I hope there was a message there for you. Carry on, pile number 3. If you liked my video, please do give me a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to my channel. I would be really, really grateful for that. I think I'm about 8 months into my channel, and it can't grow if people don't subscribe. So please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And if you feel able to leave me a comment and tell me which pile you picked and why, I would love that. So thanks very much, and I shall see you again.